fucking clapped on 1 and 3!
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Wittenberg Factor here in our spin-tight studio. Well, my friends, right now I'd like to get out of the way the obligational Rush Limbaugh minute, so take it away, Mr. Rush Limbaugh.
Thanks, Tyler. Now, my friends, it has come to my attention that the so-called brain transplant that I alluded to in my last Rush Minute was nothing more than a hoax perpetrated by liberals. So I now propose a new means to getting George W. Bush that coveted and much-needed third term. He can run again if he isn't the same person, can he? So George W. Bush needs to get a sex change. That's right, George W. Bush can be the first president since FDR to get a third term, the first woman president, and the first transsexual president. Talk about groundbreaking. So my friends, on the evening of June 29th, I'm going to break into the White House and forcibly give George W. Bush a sex change so that he can deliver us from the evil that is Barack Obama and the pseudo-conservatism that is John McCain. Deus la vote. Tyler, back to you. I like cigars.
Thanks, Rush. Tonight on the Wittenberg Factor, we're going to have both presidential candidates who actually have a chance of winning. And no, that's not Ron Paul. First up, we're going to have Barack Obama. It's been a long time coming, and people have been saying that the Wittenberg Factor is racist for not having him on sooner. Well, stick this in your crack pipe and smoke it. Welcome to the show, Senator Obama.
Hello, Tyler. It's great to be on the show.
Right. Anyway, I've got a question for you.
Does it promote change?
I guess. Anyway, why did it take you so long to denounce Reverend Wright?
Did somebody say my name? America's chickens coming home to roost.
Reverend, you're making me look bad.
Cut him off! Or kill him! I don't care! Either one!
I cannot denounce him any more than I can denounce the black community.
He's costing you votes. You know that, right?
Okay, then I denounce him.
I thought so.
That's because you're a racist.
Sure it is. So, how do you propose to fix the economy, Senator?
It's completely simple, like your small-town mind. High gas prices, use less gas. High energy bills, don't use the heater or air conditioner. High food bills, don't eat. America's gonna have to settle for less.
Wow.
What?
Oh, nothing. Just, I've never seen anybody borrow from Jimmy Carter's playbook before.
Because you're racist.
In fact, one could say that your plagiarized plan is anything but change.
That's closed-minded.
Yeah, just like your wife.
You keep my wife out of this.
If you want your wife to be left out of the election, Senator, she should keep her goddamn mouth shut.
She just has the audacity of hope.
That's right, the audacity of hope. The title you took from one of Wright's sermons, didn't you? You know, the guy you never paid attention to in church. Were completely oblivious to the racist goings-on, weren't you? Yeah.
Change we can believe in.
Such as?
I will give money to all single mothers to go to college. Every drug addict will get money to go to a clinic. Poor kids will get a free ride at college, plus money for a mansion.
And how do you plan to pay for all this, Senator?
With all the change that will be floating around under me.
I think it's time to move on to the next empty suit. Welcome to the show, Senator McCain. Thank you for having me on the show, Tyler. It's nice to be able to talk to another conservative. Don't kid yourself, you're about as conservative as Mitt Romney. Well, not quite that much. Exactly. Anyway, I've been told that you're here tonight to outline your foreign policy. Yes, Tyler, that is correct. First off, I'd like to apologize in advance for any gaffe I make tonight. You see, when I am president, I promise you that I will get rid of all of our nuclear weapons. Oh, so you mean you'll be continuing the SALT Treaty? Well, in a way. Let's just say that July 4th, 2009 will be the biggest fireworks display in history. That was it, wasn't it? Right. I also promise that within my first week in office, we will be involved in 6 new wars, 4 of them against other nuclear powers. Say again? I will not stop until there is carnage on all 7 continents. We all need a little blood in our lives. Personally, I like to bathe in it. Right. And we will not stop there. I will expand NASA, and we will harness energy to go faster than light. Out there we will conquer aliens and make them do our bidding. What? It is my goal to start enough wars that we will be involved for no less than the next 10,000 millennia. That way it will be the next guy's problem. That was another one, wasn't it? Anyway, speaking of total complete nut bars, tonight we have your most controversial supporter on the show, Reverend John Hagee, probably the only person besides Reverend Wright in need of a crucifixion.
Thank you for having me on the show. I can feel the Messiah in my veins. And it ain't Jesus. It ain't Jesus.
Right. So anyway, how did you come upon your crazy views on the Catholic Church?
You mean the great whore? Messiah in my veins. Israel up my ass.
Show a little respect for the biggest religious organization in the world, would you? Okay? While you're on my show? Huh? Or do you want to take it outside?
I'm sorry, it's just the Catholics like to whore themselves out to Satan. Their minds aren't fickle enough to be fooled by prancing about and screaming, "Praise Jesus, I can feel him." Plus, they don't realize that Hitler was sent from God to lead the Jews to the promised land.
That's it, I denounce you.
That's okay, I denounce you too. You're not even conservative. You're like the Catholic Church, spreading the legs for any demon that wants
So,
it.
Senator, what makes you the best man for the job? Senator? I watched a snail crawl along the edge of a straight razor. That's my dream. That's my nightmare. Crawling, slithering along the edge of a straight razor and surviving. Yeah, that's great, but I was asking why you're the most qualified presidential candidate. You've no right to judge me. You've a right to kill me, but not to judge me. I remember when I was with Special Forces, seems 1,000 centuries ago, we went into a camp to inoculate the children. We left the camp after we had inoculated the children for polio, and this old man came running after us, and he was crying. He couldn't see. We went back there, and they had come and hacked off every inoculated arm. There they were in a pile, a little pile of arms. And I remember I cried. I wept like some grandmother. I wanted to tear my teeth out. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I want to remember it. I never want to forget. My friends, speaking of wackos, I want to extend my sympathy to the Kennedy family. Now, I make fun of Senator Kennedy on the show all the time, and I truly do despise him, but nobody deserves what he's going through. And so I ask all of you to pray for him and his family. But don't get me wrong now. The ball-sucking the media is doing, calling him the greatest senator of all time, is a joke. And speaking of jokes, looks like Bill Clinton's in the news again. In fact, it looks like he won last week's annual DNC baby eating contest. So congratulations, Slick Willie. One of this summer's biggest blockbusters is Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And here tonight to talk all about it is George Lucas himself. Welcome to the show, Mr. Lucas.
Thank you for having me on the show, young Padawan learner.
Sure, not a problem. So, anyway, are you excited that after the train wreck that is the prequel Star Wars trilogy that you finally released a movie that people actually like?
The prequel Star Wars trilogy is my magnum opus.
How do you figure? There's nothing but bad CGI, bad acting, and no story.
They are modern Shakespeare.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Jedi mind tricks aren't real, Mr. Lucas. You can stop.
Yes, I forgot they don't work on Saul 3. You are correct.
Uh-huh. So anyway, why did it take you so long to release another Indiana Jones film?
Because I had certain stipulations that Stevie and Han couldn't agree to. There were two things. First off, Indy had to use his whip 15 times. No more, possibly 27 less. Secondly, skulls. There had to be skulls.
But I heard you actually had a completely different idea initially.
Indeed. Since the original trilogy was like the movie serials of my youth, I wanted this new one, set in the 1950s, to be a cheesy sci-fi B-movie, like Forbidden Planet, or Colonel Garber and the Mole Brigade from Wolf 359.
That's funny, I've actually never heard of Colonel Garber and the Mole Brigade from Wolf 359.
That would be because it's not a Terran film. It is in fact a Corellian film.
I see.
The film was going to be called Indiana Jones and the Attack of the Dominion of Saucermen from Mars. It would be about Indy having to fight off the Dominion of Saucermen.
Really?
Indeed. We even shot some of the test footage of what the Dominion of Saucermen would look like. Can we roll that, please?
You'll never get me. I'll get you in the other Jones, Junior. Indiana Jones, Junior. We will get Indiana Jones, Junior, and he will find his demise, 'cause he will be no more.
Who does your demo work, you cretin?
I want Indiana Jones, Junior.
You cretin? Who does your demo work?
You will die.
Over your red chili's ass out there.
I have a thermal ray gun that will destroy you and your party. Your world will be destroyed. But first, after I spit more in your face, I will kill you and your followers, Indiana Jones, Junior. Junior! Junior! Indiana! Junior! Found your cure for the 21st century, but now I've lost it.
But this idea was quickly nixed by Stevie and Han.
Harrison Ford?
Who? No, Han. My next idea was Indiana Jones and the Crystal Strap-On. This resulted in Stevie and Han beating me with a toy lightsaber.
So I've noticed that somebody else always writes the script, and Steven Spielberg directs. So, exactly what do you have to do with Indiana Jones?
Well, you see, I had the initial idea. It was going to be about a man in a fedora driving around in a hippie van solving mysteries with his pet Jawa. I was quickly told this was basically Scooby-Doo. I was then informed, or rather I informed them, the entire film would be shot in the Jawan language.
Jawan?
Untini! I originally didn't want to use Han in the film because I had used him in my autobiographical Star Wars films. My first choice for Indiana Smith, as he was then known, was in fact an empty soda can.
Okay, that's all the time we have, Mr. Lucas. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is out now. I'm Tyler Wittenberg, and The Spin
In a galaxy far, far away.